What's up, Queens? You're listening to Black Queens Uncut. Grab your wine, your vape, and anything to relax you so we can get into some queen chat. Today, we're talking about interracial relationships. I'm Anika Loveless. Ladies, let them know who you are.
What's up, guys? It's Kiki Boom Boom.
Hey, guys. It's TK Trinidad.
Hey, Queens. It's your girl, Miss Candy Marie.
Okay. This is a topic. Okay, so let's start out with this. Who in here, are y'all in relationship? Are y'all single? Like, what's going on with your situationship right now?
I am single.
Have you been in a interracial relationship?
I have been in a few interracial friendships, relationships, situationships.
Were they relationships or just like situationships?
The interracial, they were all situationships, not a real relationships.
Okay.
But I think I said earlier, I haven't really been in a real relationship. Like,
I have
ever.
never been in an interracial relationship.
It's a good time.
I have been.
I'll say this. I'm from New York and I grew up in Boston. Mm-hmm. So these are two very diverse places, especially New York City. So it's in New York, the men on the East Coast are a little bit more aggressive. So it's just easier to find men, Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, everybody who's like, yo, what's up?
Who
You want a drink?
Swag?
What's good? Like, we're on the West Coast, no one's as aggressive. So it's easier for me, I would say, in New York and Boston, to be in an interracial relationship.
And we got Candy on the line right now because she's in New York. So,
Yeah,
Candy, what about you?
I was going to say, sis, I'm loving these men out here on the East Coast. Girl.
Yes.
I'm loving these New York men. But I have yet to bump into my little Asian persuasion or my little vanilla bean. I'm hoping that I do. But I'm actually a result of an interracial relationship. But unfortunately, I've never, ever engaged in one.
Oh, wow. So you only been with Black men?
Yeah, only been with Black men. But I have to say I'm now open because Black men have been getting on my damn nerves.
Amen.
So I might have to mix
Amen.
them up and see what else is out there.
Listen, I'm just trying to find my Cameron. God, I've
you.
seen what you've done for others. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm talking about Love is Blind. The Lord has blessed Miss Lauren, and I'm trying to find my Cameron in a pod.
Is Cameron white or Black?
Cameron
He's
is white and
Oh.
Lauren is Black.
Hold on. Cameron is a scientist and once was a firefighter. Okay.
And his past relationship was with a Black girl. So.
Yes. Long term.
So he's like Serena's boo.
Yes.
Okay. I like Serena's boo.
So, TK, have you ever been in a interracial relationship?
My first relationship, he was mixed, but he didn't know the Black side of his family, and he knew the white side of his family. So I would often interact with the white side of his family. So to me, it was interracial because he appeared white than Black. But if you talk to him, like, he was listening to 3 6 Mafia and all types of things, like, nah. At one point, people, like, if you talk to us on the phone, they thought he was the Black one and I was the white one. So
Wait. I have to stop you. He listened to the 3 6 Mafia. He's really Black then. If he listened to 3 6 Mafia, he's really Black.
That's what I was thinking.
But he went to school, Abilene Christian. R.I.P. He passed away a few years ago. But he went to school at Abilene Christian, and, like, he was really into stuff like that. So it was weird because his whole family, they were a very white Christian family. They had 7 kids, and we used to go and spend weekends there. So I would interact with the white side of his family, and it was just like, oh, this is different. But being from Canada, like, you know, you interact with, like, same thing. It's very diverse. But it was, we definitely got a lot of weird looks. But to me, because of the 3 6 Mafia factor and everything else, he used to run track, and there's a lot of Black elements there that I never really considered him white, if that made sense.
Okay, so this is the biggest question now that we know everybody's little situation.
Mm-hmm.
Can you be pro-Black and not date Black?
I used to think about this a lot because before I used to say, pro-Black means you want to marry Black, have Black kids, you kind of Hotep-ish, but that's pro-Black. You want Black everything.
Right.
But as I got older and someone who I love being black, I love my blackness. No one can ever question me about my blackness. And I know for me, I love black men, but I tend to get a lot of attention from white guys.
Like white or like
all types of guys that are not black.
Okay.
I tend to like Persian guys, white guys, and I'd be like, damn. And don't get it twisted. I've messed outside of my race. I've dated outside of my race, but I'm like, damn, I want like a black husband. Can I be pro-black? But now as I'm getting older, I'm like, yes, the F you can.
I think it really depends on who the non-black person is. Like, for instance, if you know
Cameron
W Kamau Bell, the comedian, he's married to a white lady, and he's told a story that she's often, because he's like 6 foot. You have to look up his comedy. He's a really funny guy, but he's like 6'4", dark skin. He wears a fro, so he's very intimidating. Even though if you are familiar with black folks, he looks like the nerdy black guy. But his wife is like, 5-something, and she is very in tune with the plight of, African Americans, and she stands up for situations that he necessarily can't, because if he did, then it wouldn't be a good situation for him as far as cops called, etc. So I feel like if it's somebody who is aware and empathetic and educates themselves on the black plight, then I'm for it. But if it's somebody who is like, Becky from the block and she just wants some black penis, and then Jerome, is about black issues, because he's not about black issues, then y'all, God be, do your thing. Right. But he's about black issues, and Becky from the block is not, and they're married, that's when it's just like, come on, son. Like,
do you believe he's not pro-black?
Not necessarily pro-black, but it's just, it's...
Because I even think, like, you can still, because I think people were like, oh, I want to marry black, I want to have black kids, but you still are having black children. So I would always say, like, I know if I married a white guy, I'm still having black children, and my children are going to be raised to be black children, because that's how society's going to see them. And whoever I marry, I always used to pray, like, God, send me a good black man. But now I'm like, God, just send me a good man.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And whoever I do marry, like a Cameron, God, send him. He also, like you said, TK, like, he would have to know. Because I used to be like, I don't want to teach nobody nothing. I'm tired.
Well, you have to teach. I'm still learning stuff myself. No,
I'm not training nobody.
No, I get it, but it's still a work in progress. Like, I'm still learning about the African American myself. I'm learning stuff on a daily basis because of the people I'm affiliated with now. So to me, it's just like how somebody says, oh, well, black folks can just grab themselves up by their bootstraps. Why aren't they doing this and this and that? And it's like, if you don't understand all the stuff that was placed in front of them and everything that's happened, then it's totally different. And if you don't understand and willing to acknowledge and also willing to be empathetic to it, then it's a totally different situation. So it's like, you have to listen. And
I'm down to listen. I just would always say, I don't know if I'm tired.
Well, according to PewResearch.org, black interracial marriages are going up. And I agree. I still feel like you can be pro-black and date outside, because that's not going to stop me from being black. If I date outside, if I have a man who is a man and he treats me well, if I have to teach him certain things about our culture, that's fine, because you're already treating me like a man you should, and you just didn't grow up like I did. That's okay. That does not stop me from being pro-black. Like, I feel like us saying things like that is what keeps the black women race from stepping outside and getting an actual good man.
I agree.
Instead of like being like, oh, well, I have to have this black man, when you have so many incarcerated, you have so many who don't even like what we handing out, you have so many that are, and even the same census in PewResearch.org, according to them, most black men are
dating outside.
Marrying outside of their race. So then you have that on your side as well. So it's kind of like, so what stops a good man from being, just because of his color should stop him from being a good man? No, I want a good man.
Yeah, same.
Point blank, period. I don't care. I want a good man.
Yeah.
Now, does that stop me from being pro-black? No, because if I have to tell his ass, listen, we going to this walk, you better get on your shorts and let's go.
Wow.
That's what we going to go do.
Wow. Bobby might not be about that life, though.
No, I feel like I need to weigh in on this conversation just a little bit. I'm okay. So I'm gonna say this, and I don't necessarily know if y'all are gonna like what I say, but I feel like it needs to be said. So I understand where y'all are coming from, 100%, and like pro means for, so that means that you're for black people, right? I'm just going to put that out there.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I've heard a lot of my female, other female Black friends that have had an issue with that. And I kind of understand their point of view as well. Like, you're saying that you're for Black people, but are you for Black women? And that's where my question comes in. Like, you're representing for Black people, you're showing love for Black people, but like at the same time, sometimes it leads Black women to believe, and I've even had this thought myself, being an interracial person is, okay, you're for Black people, but are you for Black women? Like, do you love your mother? Or was there something like what made you feel like a Black woman wasn't for you? And that has been a question that I've had. And I've also engaged in conversations with other Black women. And I've also wondered, like, for example, my father, he was initially married to a Black woman. And they had a nasty divorce that turned him against Black women. And that is also a result of one of the reasons why me and him had a bad relationship, because he went from loving Black women to hating Black women. So I grew up with a man who would say the worst things about Black women, and then, like that made me think, okay, well, you're with my white mother because you don't like Black women. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it leads me to believe, okay, you're pro-Black, that means you're for Black people, but are you for Black women? And that's the question that I pose.
I feel like if somebody is with you, then they are for you. I will say this. I have been only with Black men. Am I open? Yes, I am open, because I'm open to just having a man. But if I'm having a man, I feel like if that's my requisite, then he's going to love me no matter what. I.e. Cameron does Lauren. That's a good example, because
I need to watch the show, I suppose.
He fully just was like, it doesn't matter.
Accepting.
This is the part that I feel is not pro-Black. And I feel like this from a lot of Black men is when they start to put down Black women to defend their other ethnicity girlfriend or wife. You don't need to do that to defend someone that you love.
Yeah, you love who you love.
Now, that's when it comes down to not being pro-Black.
Mm-hmm.
You're not for us.
Yeah, I used to always say that. I used to say, like, Black women, majority of the time, we don't care if you date outside your race. The only time we care is when you start to talk about us, you drag us, you let your other queens who are not Black talk about us, and you don't defend us. I used to always say that, and that's my issue with some. Cruz. Listen, where Black women are fighting for you like we always do, we always show, we always stand up, but i.e. Terry Crews, as soon as you're ready to knock us down. So that's what I always used to say to men. I'm like, Black women don't care who y'all date.
Right.
You shouldn't care who we date. Because when we date, we would never let our white king talk about y'all like that, because y'all Black kings.
Exactly.
For real.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, we
what?
correct his ass on the spot.
Okay.
You better stop it, Willie.
I Snoop Dogg as well, because what
Yes.
Snoop Dogg did, how he publicly disrespected Gayle King, that is still not okay.
Yeah.
It's still things like that. Like if we do something or we say something that's offensive to a Black man, it still does not give a Black man the right to publicly disrespect us. Period.
Facts.
Right, and that's when I agree. I definitely feel like that's when it comes down to not being pro-Black. But any other time, I feel like you still can be pro-Black and date or marry outside of it. Especially nowadays with Black women being number one in college, Black women are number one entrepreneurs. Like, we killing the game right now.
Yes.
So if I want my equal and he ain't Black, I mean...
Listen, as you get older, things change.
Baby.
Things change as you get older. Sometimes our checklists, they change a little bit as we get older as women. And sometimes the things we thought we wanted are things that, I think God or whoever you believe in is like, we're going to send you somebody different. And if that person's going to love you, you should just love that person.
Yeah, there
just
should be an understanding between cultures.
And I feel like, Kiki, this is a good question for you since you've dated outside. Did you meet their family and like their friends, and how was that interaction?
Yes, I did. So
you had a real relationship.
So I've dated, I feel like almost every race, majority Black guys, but white, Hispanic, Asian, and I think Persian, that's out here. It depends.
Persians
everybody's
love
different.
sisters.
Everybody's family's different.
Okay.
Every white person is not created equal. Every Hispanic person is not created equal. So everybody's friends and families are different. In New York City, because New York is a little bit more diverse. A lot of the guys I dated, their families were from New York. I would be a little skeptical though, because like one dude I dated was Italian, and if you're from New York like I am, you know, like a lot of the Italians live in Staten Island, and some people are not afraid to throw out the N-word. I don't care if you're from Italy and you think everybody's cool, but so that was a little scary. But meeting their friends, it was super cool, super chill, super easy. I don't think I've ever had a problem where someone's family was like, we don't like her, at least to my face.
How was the sex?
I'll say this.
How was the sex compared to?
Okay, I'll say this. So before I dated outside my race, of course, stereotypes.
Yes.
You hear the stereotypes.
Are Asian men really small?
I'll say this.
Oh boy.
Every man, it doesn't matter your race, because I know black men are everyone's like, oh, black men got big dicks. Look, I've only dealt with one Asian guy, and he was okay.
Okay.
Like it was like medium. Like it wasn't huge, it wasn't small, but it was like, because you know the horrible stereotypes.
Yeah.
He was pretty great.
He wasn't breaking up your uterus.
No, but I've been with white guys who have. I've been with white guys who only wore magnums.
Ooh,
So
I mean, that's a requirement. You have to be wearing that gold coin.
No, because magnums are bad for women. If you don't know, like the magnums are horrible.
Wait, are we talking about the magnums?
The condoms are horrible.
No, we're not talking about the condoms. We're
talking
talking
about the
about
size.
fits in the condom.
All I'm saying is, I've been with some guys who are not black.
You hear Candy? Let Candy speak.
Dude, I'm like, look, just because you think you wear a Magnum don't mean you really wear a Magnum.
That's a fact.
That's why you got to go get your plan B, Kiki.
That's a fact. But I will say this, the stereotypes are all not true. And I've been with some guys who are well endowed who were not black.
Were they good though? Like, did they give you good sex? Like, there's a difference.
She done hummed at that.
Yes. I will say my first experience with a white guy, my mind was blown. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, he was the white guy. Shout out to Josh that's in here, our producer. Sorry, Josh. He was the white guy that was just like, he just kept going and going and going and going and going and going. I was like, yo, okay. Going.
So did you? So I have a question.
Yes.
Because I experienced.
Now all the questions are for you.
But again, everybody.
No. Well, this is
everybody's not created
This is
equal.
an experience that I had, and I wanted to see if you had that experience too.
Yes.
So in my interactions with non-melanin gentleman caller, we were in relations, and I so happened to be wearing makeup, and like you don't experience this with somebody who looks like you, no matter what shade they are, because the makeup just tends to blend in. With the non-melanin, it doesn't quite happen, and my makeup literally streaked on his face, which was scary as F. So I didn't know if you experienced that yourself. Or...
I have, but the guys that I've dealt with who weren't black either like grew up with black people or dealt with black women. So like my hair was never a problem.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say.
My makeup was
bonnet,
never a problem.
yeah.
I would pull up in a bonnet and a scarf. Like, I think only one person asked me a question because he actually really wanted to learn about it. But I think because the guys I surrounded myself were people who were in those environments.
Yeah. I don't know if he was in that environment. I left quickly.
Did you ever have a... Never mind.
Yeah.
I was gonna say when your wig fell off.
No. My wigs are either very secure or I take them off prior to. Yeah.
To think as women. Well, sometimes I feel like I think as a woman, black men tend to come with a lot of baggage that other men don't come with. Is that true or false?
It depends on the situation and where they're from. I think it's really, I think everybody comes with baggage. It just depends on where they're from. I think we're more acutely aware with black men's baggage because we also are dealing with some of that baggage as well. So I think that's a huge thing. I was talking to my friend actually on the way over here, and we were just talking about like, things that black men have to deal with that no other race has to deal with, and some of them don't even know that they're dealing with it. So I think it's just we're just more acutely aware of that stuff. You know how sometimes we're interacting with our race in business or whatever, and we're like, man, like really, black folks, like you can't get it together. But we're so acutely aware of it that it annoys us more than other folks. Whereas I guarantee if there's Italians dealing with an Italian restaurant, they're going to say the same thing about their folks because it's like they are aware of the culture.
With that being said, do you feel like we give other men of races more leeway?
No, I think
we're not as like stronghold
men are
on them.
men.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say what I normally used to say in 2019, men are trash, but because I'm working on myself, I'm trying to be more positive towards the
There you
opposite
go.
sex.
Men
There you
are
go.
men.
Men are men.
Guys are guys.
don't
I
think it
won't say
depends
men
on-
are men. Guys are guys.
Guys are guys.
Mm.
It doesn't depend to me. It doesn't depend on your race or who you are.
Yeah, because they're all gonna come with problems.
Yeah, everyone got baggage.
Yeah, we all got baggage too. That I'm sure, guys. If there was a podcast, I'm sure there is one of guys talking about,
Sure.
us and our baggage. Like we have baggage that we don't think is baggage.
I don't have baggage.
No, see,
Girl,
that's. Let's just finish this episode right now, cause this one
Good
right
night.
here, yeah, this is the end of the episode, the end cut. See you later, Candy.
Oh my gosh, Kitty, what do you think? Let me get your thoughts on this.
Okay, I think everybody has baggage. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it really depends on any particular race. I think everybody has issues from their childhood, and but I think that certain races mask it more than others. I feel like we wear our trauma differently. I think that Black men, they've had to grow up to be stronger. They channel it into sports. They channel it into like different things. Like my brothers, for example, used to get into fights a lot growing up. It's simply because like the littlest thing would tick them off. If they felt like somebody was being disrespectful to them, or like they just had to have a harder exterior because that's how they grew up. They grew up harder. So I just think that people just channel it differently.
Oh yeah. When you deal with police brutality and all that other stuff, it's just the issue. These two women in here, they're really caught up with this show. What is it called? In Love?
Love is blind.
Love is blind.
I would just like to say,
Oh God.
That is like goals. # relationship
God, I've seen
goals.
what you've done for Lauren. Please,
Yes.
send us
Well,
a
I mean,
camera.
since y'all got these insiders, can y'all send me screenshots of what y'all? I don't know. Y'all passing pictures around. What's
I'm
going
about
on?
to DM you something right now on your IG.
Oh
Stay
my
tuned.
gosh.
Don't you worry.
Oh my gosh.
You know I like DMs, girl. Don't tell
I'm
me
about
that.
to sent. Just sent. So for those who don't know what we're talking about, there's a new Netflix show that's out called Love is Blind. And I don't know if we explained it, but it's kind of like a mix of Married at First Sight, where these couples meet each other in a pod, but you don't see each other. So you fall in love emotionally, and then you agree to marry each other. And there's some dramatic stuff. There's some drama couples, but there's just one couple
Lauren
who
and
America
Cameron.
loved, and they got married. Spoiler, but the show came out last week, so you guys should catch up.
It came out
Came out
technically
last
last month.
Last month, sorry about that. Came out last month, and they are still married, and they're an interracial couple. So
Boom.
And I mean, the man is just so calm and down to earth, and he's like so ready for it. Like, this is an epitome of a man. Oh my God.
again, God, I've seen what you've
Okay.
done for others.
Yes, I see what you have done, God. Now my eyes are
Oh
open.
my, he is fine.
Ain't he?
Exactly. Thank
Oh.
you. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
I just followed him, y'all.
Wow.
I'm like all his
He
pictures.
is taken, Candy.
By a black
Oh.
woman, so we
Oh,
share.
and she's beautiful.
We share the
She's
love.
beautiful.
Gorgeous. It's okay. I
I'm just
follow them both
admiring.
too. I
I
like
do
to see
too.
the journey.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, I'm lying. I do that with Serena and her husband. Her husband,
He's fine.
He's fine, and the way he treats his daughter.
Oh,
Oh God.
Beautiful
The way he
family.
treats their daughter is just amazing. He seems like he's really appreciative of and really really understands the plight.
Well, let us know. Hit us up in our DMs and let us know about all of your interracial relationships or questions you may have, that you're going into one or you're thinking about one or whatever you got on your mind, Queen.
Just jump on it, Queen. Just jump on it.
That's not good advice
Why is that not good advice?
because it's just not. Anyways, do not listen to TK. You just don't jump on any.
Jump on it and then hit me up in the DMs and thank me later.
No, don't do that. There's the coronavirus out right now. Anyway, and hit us up in our DM at Queens Uncut on Twitter and Instagram, everywhere else. Ladies, tell them where they can find you.
you guys can slide in my DMs. Black Kings, I love y'all. So come on through. But everybody slide in at Kiki Boom Boom.
Candy.
I love you, Kiki.
I love you more.
It's your girl, Miss Candy Marie, and you can find me on Instagram at Miss Candy Marie.
And you can find me on everything at TK Trinidad. You can also slide in the DMs, just not, with the D pics.
Please don't slide in my DMs. I will probably ignore you. But
At least you're honest.
But you can find me everywhere at It's Monique Loveless, and make sure you tune in next week for another new episode. And if you already haven't caught up, make sure you catch up with all the rest of the episodes. And we love you, queens. Thank you for listening.
Bye.
Ciao.